Hey there, friends. How are you? October blessings. We are halfway through this gorgeous, most perfect, most Hudson Valley month. Yes, that's me in front of my orange front door. There's the cat. There are the pumpkins. And I just wanted to take a moment and think about this whole idea of let your words light your way. And this is something that I've been playing with for years and that I know we need now more than ever, because there's so much darkness that always so often seems to be encroaching on us. And at the same time, there is so much light that wants to surround us all the time. Right? So I had intended to do this video last week and, one thing or the other didn't happen. And it was interesting because today I was out for a walk. I gave myself permission to step away from my desk and realize that, wait a minute, nothing more is going to happen here today if I don't let myself go outside and enjoy a Hudson Valley October day. That is the perfect amount of chilly and crisp, and it's finally stopped raining. And the trees are not as vivid as they might be in a typical mid-October because we've been getting so much rain. But that also means that the streams and the brooks that are often asleep this time of year are very much awake and alive. So I let myself go out for a hike in the middle of the day. And when I did, I realized how much has changed between this week and last. Because last week, I was going to be talking about all the reasons why it seems like people have been allowed to be silenced right now. So many of my writing coaching clients were canceling because they didn't get their writing done. They were completely disappearing. People weren't necessarily showing up for the writer's circle. We have a sovereign writer's circle that we meet once a week to write together. People weren't coming. And I luckily had the wisdom to know that it wasn't me. It was more, there was something in the air. There was a sense of heaviness. There was a sense of sort of communal silencing, that it felt like people just had run out of words. And I think in part that was due to the aftermath of everything that happened with Dr. Ford. I think people were tired. People were feeling kind of broken down and maybe didn't know what to say and perhaps needed a time of silence, because I think we always need to recognize that, as we're in this moment of golden October, what's going to come next is going to be November and December and the dark time of the year. Like, we take the rules and pointers from the earth itself. So it's okay to recognize, oh, wait, right now everything's really silenced. So if I had spoken to you last week, it really would have been an invitation to say, hey, it's okay to emerge when you're ready. Please come. And I would have helped reflect. It seems like a lot of people right now just don't have the words, aren't able to show up for their own writing, for talking about their writing and talking about their ideas. But then things seem to shift. This week, today's Tuesday, right? So in one day alone, Monday, yesterday, October 15th, I had one client send me his completed first manuscript. His first draft is done. It was there on the page. And in that moment, as I'm reading this, and he means a lot to me, I feel like I've been on a journey with him for more than a year now. As I'm reading this, it dawned on me how perfect it was that he sends me his completed first draft, and I realized that my own book comes out in a year, October 15th, 2019. And this then piggybacks on the fact that yesterday the Sovereign Writers Circle was bustling, and there were so many writers with me yesterday. People were showing up for themselves, showing up for their stories in ways that they hadn't been able to just a week before. And, another client, we had this huge conversation about lighting up her entire brand and all these different ideas that suddenly were clear after 3 years of writing. She kindly came through and found out what she needed to say. So all of this is to say, gosh, we have to trust the cycles. We have to trust ourselves. We have to trust that sometimes it is time to be quiet, and then it's time to show up, right? Oh, I've got a lousy network connection. I think I'm going to go back in the house because I'm outside on my front steps, and it's not always as good out there. I think it's better. So trusting ourselves, trusting what comes through, what needs to come through, when it comes through, and remembering to show up and try again. So I want to make sure that you all know that on Friday, this Friday, October 19th, I am hosting another free community writing practice session. And this is your chance to come bring your pen and bring your journal or your notebook or a scrap of paper you find on the dining room table or underneath your desk and sit and write with us for about an hour. We meet from 12 noon to 1 o'clock Eastern on Friday. And this is a time for you to get some writing prompts from me to write in community with others who are just looking to give themselves the time and the space and the quiet and to find the words, to let the words find them, because that's what we need right now in order to keep on moving forward, to keep on going deeper, to keep connecting with ourselves, to keep connecting with others. We need to give ourselves the time, the space, and the permission to do that work. So I offer about 2 writing prompts. Sometimes I feel called to write an extra one, but you get the chance to just write in quiet. It's like being in a coffee shop with a bunch of other people. And then at the end, we come back around to talk a little bit about what came through for us, to talk about the experience of the writing itself. It's not about feeling like you have to perform and read everything that you just did. Instead, it's more like that ability to say, I discovered this new idea. I had no idea that this was so important. It just appeared to me. And to get the validation from writing with others who say, yeah, that prompt really spoke to me too, and it took me over this direction, and I never expected it. So I would love to see you with us on Friday so we could write together. And whether you feel like you have been in your own space of silence that you haven't been able to find the words, or whether you've been in a point of like, oh my gosh, right now I am creating more than I even know how to deal with because this October beauty is in my blood and everything is just flowing forth. I've got so many ideas. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to end. I don't know even where to start. I don't know where to, come. Because whether you haven't been finding the inspiration at all, or you just need a way to anchor it in, giving yourself an hour to do that, to make your own thinking and writing and dreaming and wishing and hoping and needing practice real by sitting down to write, that is the beginning of real and necessary magic. Because this is October. This is the magical time of the year when we are called to engage with the world around us. This is the time of harvest. This is the time for us to say, at least in the northern part of the country, the northern part of the world, she's going to be sleeping soon. The mother will be sleeping soon. Hey, Alice, how can I mark these last brilliant golden moments of growth? How can I be really present right now? What story do I want to plant the seeds of that I'm going to continue to come back to, that's going to continue to warm me throughout the long winter to come? Because we're about to enter the time when Mother Earth is still here. She still wants us to hike upon her. She still wants us to care for her water. She still wants us to make the good choices. But she's going to be asleep soon. We need to make our own warmth and light for the long months to come. And so often that's through your creativity. That's through the project that makes you so excited to be alive, to be human, to be working on a new idea, to be working on something that you need to reveal within yourself, that needs to be illuminated inside of you. So then you can light the way for others, because there's a lot of darkness coming. Just in terms of the sun and the sky. Never mind in terms of all the other things that might be coming down the pike. Vote November 6th. Keep the light. Find the light. But before we worry about November 6th, let's gather together on Friday, October 19th. Let's be together to write into prompts that are going to invite you to light your own way, to figure out where you need to go. Because when you start doing that magic, then you start to be able to create it for others. So please join us for the community writing practice. I'd love to have you with us. If you can't make it live on Friday, just register anyway. There's a link attached here. And you'll get the recording and you'll get the prompts. And then you'll find out when all the rest of them are. We do it just about every month. When I'm not doing a 7 Magic Words challenge, we're doing a free community writing practice. So come tell your stories. Set aside some time for you. In the same way that we all need to set aside some time to be out in the world right now, out in nature. We also need to set aside some time to tell and discover our own stories. So, lots of love, my darlings. There's a crow calling out to us. She's sending her blessings. Blessings to all.